That is the face of a man who rattles pussy like a fence at Auschwitz. Oh, you got a license for that meme. Now, speaking of man-made horrors beyond human comprehension, the communist two-tier policing up and down the UK. Now, the West Midlands Police have released this video, which is talking mostly about the policing within the West Midlands, but I think it's more to do with the UK as a whole, as they'll all have the same message. And the whole point of this video was to actually prove that two-tier policing does not exist and they're here to protect everyone. However, he's just proved that with the intro of the video and only wanting to talk about communities, which is plural, but only wanting to protect the Muslim community as well, which I find to be quite ironic because a lot of people do think at this point that the Muslims do control the police here in the UK, which again, I 100% believe. And within the second video I'm about to show you, that will confirm it for sure. Oh, just you wait as well. Now, I would also like to thank all of you as we've just hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. Again, thank you so much for the support, the liking, the sharing, leaving comments as well help me in the algorithms, as I like to call it as well. Again, I love you all for it, but I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into this non-existent two-tier policing. Then they're here to protect everyone in the UK.
Salam alaikum.
Oh, fuck me sideways with a rolling pin. Jesus Christ almighty. Yes, right out the gate, pledge your allegiance to the Muslims, why don't you? Now, when you start off by saying Salam Alaikum in your video, you just negate everyone else in the UK who's not a Muslim. Going forward, you're only addressing the Muslims, and that's quite evident what he's about to say in the next 2 minutes. So, yeah, two-tier policing doesn't exist apparently. Press X to doubt.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you to the leaders and elders that have afforded me this opportunity to speak to you personally. The reason I'm speaking is to underline my commitment on behalf of the organisation to protect all the communities across the West Midlands. And in particular, I want to underline that message to your good selves and your congregations. And that's very, very acute to me, having seen some of the scenes that have played out elsewhere within the United Kingdom. I know, because we have policed events over a long period of time, that it's a regular occurrence across the West Midlands. However, what we've seen elsewhere has definitely caused concern in communities, and especially I've listened to our guests at our open day this last weekend, to representatives of your communities.
Right, when he says about the open days and the communities and wanting to represent them, am I the only one that's noticed whenever the police say communities plural, it's not all the different types of communities, no, it's communities plural as in the multiple Muslim communities up and down the UK as well. And also that second video that I mentioned as well, oh, just you wait as well, you know, them having open days for communities. I might have just backed up my claim with the second video, but anyway, let's continue with this one.
Who have expressed their concern about what's happening nationally. So number one, I want to say very clearly that we won't tolerate those types of intimidation or that criminality in any way, shape or form from anyone who lives across the West Midlands.
Yeah, funnily enough, I also find that you won't tolerate it and you won't stand up to it, but the fact that you're asking Muslims to put their weapons back in their mosques, politely saying, please, can you please put your machetes back in the mosque?
If there's any weapons or anything like that, what I will do is discard them in the mosque. Leave them here. You don't give anybody any reason.
And also the police officer said, we're here to protect yous lot as well.
I just need you to understand we're not against you guys. We're
No,
here to help and protect you.
We all understand. Yeah. Appreciate that, what you're doing. Thank you.
I also find it quite funny that these Muslims don't seem to ever get arrested, get literally charged at by the police in any way, shape or form. But the second a little white kid decides to steal a few sausage rolls, well, the FBI, the CIA, the fucking MI5, Secret Service, the Illuminati, Andrew Tate, you know, everyone starts gunning for these people to put these horrible white evil people away. So yeah, again, get fucked.
Number two, there is one tier of policing that applies to all of us.
Oh, I'm about to prove that wrong.
And that means that we police without fear or favour.
Unless it's riots in Leeds by the Muslims and then you just run away from them as well. So without fear, no, you do police with fear because How many kids in the Rotherham area got raped? I think it was 1,400 little girls got raped. And the police admitted that the reason they did not go after these grooming gangs and these rapists is because they were all brown and Muslim and they didn't want to be labelled as racist. I offer you not being called a racist in exchange for allowing 1,400 little girls to be raped. I don't want to be called a racist, so I'll take that one. So again, get fucked.
Number 3, we don't tolerate racism and discrimination.
Well, yes, you do. You do tolerate racism when it's done towards a white person or Christians, because a Christian preaching just some simple Bible verses in the street of the UK seems to get the entire police force flung at them in any way, shape, or form. And on top of that as well, when it comes to this whole thing of, we will not tolerate this and that, again, it's always just the one side. It's always just the white person that gets it at the end of the day. It's never the other side as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I probably am. I'm just so fed up with this.
And in particular, some of the actions that I've seen on the TV screens, and you will have seen, have appalled me, and no doubt have appalled you.
Yeah, that's the mainstream media kind of driving the narrative. Again, if anyone's sitting there watching the mainstream media and believing any word that they say, you're beyond help. And I think this man's a definite cut and dry case of that.
And my additional point is to say that you will see more police officers in and around communities.
No, you won't. I saw on the Lotus Eater podcast that 1/3 of all police officers will resign from the police force within the next 2 years, and nobody's signing up to be a police officer anymore. And the amount of videos that the police get anything lobbed at them or get any physical violence, they just seem to back off because the UK police are the biggest fucking pussies and cucks out there compared to any other law enforcement on the planet. So again, no, you're not.
If there are events whereby the extreme right wing, for example, want to...
Anyone who mentions the right wing at this point, you just instantly lost the argument. I'm starting to actually doubt if... does the right wing even exist anymore? Like, what's the actual definite? Everything's right wing. If everything's right wing, does the right wing exist? If everything's racist, does racism exist? If everything's homophobic, then does homophobia exist? So on and so forth. If everybody's rich, then is anyone rich? Like, it just cancels itself out. Does the right wing even exist anymore? Honestly. But again, anyone who says anything about, it's the far right, bang, you've just lost the argument, in my honest opinion.
Protest or turn up at a location very much unexpectedly or sporadically, please make sure that the police alone deal with those situations. We want to deal with those situations directly. We will deal with them positively and professionally on behalf of everybody that lives in our communities across the West Midlands.
Who lives within our communities in the West Midlands. Again, is that plural as in multiple different communities, or is that plural as in multiple Muslim communities? I think it's the latter as well.
So I must say a huge thank you to the community elders and leaders of Moss.
And there goes me getting proven right once again. Hello.
Who have played a key role in giving me support, information, and most importantly, guidance as to the impact that some of these protests have had on local communities.
Again, local communities, plural. I would like to believe, since it's the police who are meant to be protecting us and saving our lives, that communities, plural, would mean all sorts of different types of communities. But as he just clarified, no, it's communities, plural, as in multiple different Muslim communities up and down the West Midlands. Again, two-tier policing doesn't exist. Shalom alaikum, everybody. Fucking joke.
So I stand with you, and I ask you to make sure that the police deal with these issues. The police are equipped, we're well trained.
No, that well-trained part is completely inaccurate. You can pretty much just sign up to be a volunteer police officer, which pretty much means zero training, zero anything in that general direction. You can just say, I want to be a volunteer police officer. They'll scan you up and down. Probably just look you up and down and go, yeah, fair enough. Does nobody remember that case in London a few months ago where that volunteer police... I can't believe volunteer police officers even exist. Again, carpet bomb the UK at this point. But that volunteer police officer who was not from the UK in any way, shape or form... This volunteer police officer, who was a woman, decided to harass a a Christian woman in the street, and because the Christian woman put her in her place, she decided to stick her tongue out and basically just kind of the most polite way of flipping the bird at her and just walk off. What training? Literally, you can sign up for free to be a police officer and not get paid. What training are you on about?
And we very much will be directly dealing with any of that sort of issue on behalf of everyone that lives in the West Midlands.
Yeah, lives in the West Midlands. Again, I will repeat myself over and over again. You would think communities mean the different types of communities, not the multiple Muslim communities. Again, just... Oh, God. Fucking... just carpet bomb the UK.
Shukran.
And again, shukram as well, just to wrap the video up. Lovely. Now, again, he spoke about the open night. Now, I wanted you to bear that in mind. He talked about the open night where the multiple, communities show up to give their views and opinions. And I find it's also quite funny within that video and the one that I'm about to show you, that why are the police going to Muslim communities to ask them how they should do their job and how they should police other people on behalf of Muslims? Shouldn't you be telling the Muslims what to do, not the Muslims telling you what to do? Who's protecting this country and running it? Seriously, who the fuck's controlling it? I think it's Jimmy Savile at this point. I've not got a fucking clue. Also, ta-da! An open night so the communities can give their response about how they feel within the local communities within the police. And look at this right here. Hello! Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This looks like the most stereotypical live leak or crazyshit.com beheading video that I've ever fucking seen. Now, before we get into the video, we have to thank the sponsor of the video, Raid Shadow Legends. It's just, what the fuck is this? He looks like if he mispronounces one word, his entire family is just done for. And the way that he's saying everything, the way that he's speaking and the constant stuttering, look, I know I'm a bit bad for that for my videos, but I'm Scottish, I'm autistic, and also I have a large tongue and a small mouth, right? I've got several excuses. His life sounds like it's on danger. Listen to this.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Oh, he did. Someone else is doing it. Salam alaikum. It's two-tier policing doesn't exist. Shalom alaikum, man. It's just what is going on. I mean, he looks like he's hiding a machete behind this guy, and if he fucking does one thing wrong, he's dead. He is dead.
My name's Phil Hutchinson, and I am the Superintendent for Greater Manchester Police, based in Oldham. Obviously, echo everything that the leader, Rouge, has said. Firstly, thank you very much for inviting us and arranging the meeting. It's the inaugural meeting. We're having these now bi-monthly, so in respect to what Rouge has mentioned about some increased tension, obviously there are a number of issues going on nationally and within Greater Manchester. We're engaging with all communities and...
Apologies, Crumb. There's that word again. All communities. And it looks like there's a fucking line of ISIS members behind him. Am I the only one getting ransom or beheading video energy off of this? Communities, again, it's all Muslims. The previous video, communities, we're here to protect the mosque. Again, communities meant to be plural, as in all the different types of communities, not communities as in the multiple different Muslim communities up and down the country. I'm going to stop saying that, or else I'm going to actually just fucking lose my mind.
Manchester Police and UK policing will continue to deal with perpetrators and people who are committing crime.
Crimes against who, I wonder? Crimes against who? Now, again, they try to disprove that two-tier policing is not a thing. Have they went to a single church, a single synagogue, or anywhere down that line? Have they been going knocking about on the local community's doors, no matter who answers, whether it's just white people or brown people or Jamaicans or Muslims or atheists or Christians or Sikhs or whatever? Have they been going around asking them, do you feel safe? Is there anything we can do? Would you like to give any feedback? So on and so forth. Or giving them an actual platform to speak like your official Twitter accounts? No. And this is one of the reasons why the fucking riot started with the average British, white person is not heard and is just basically told, you shall not be heard, you shall not be seen, shut up, go back to your little pod, eat the bugs and shut up and kill yourself, essentially. And you wonder why the riots have started, and you wonder why people think the Muslims control everything and it's an invasion, especially when they're standing behind you like this is a fucking ransom video and they're about to behead you if you don't put out the message, as the critical drinker would say. And you're trying to sit here and disprove us that two-tier policing doesn't exist when you're sitting there pledging your allegiance by going Shalom Alaikum at the start of your video, which I've said already, negates every single other British people watching that video who's not Muslim. Honest to God, I wish people would bear in mind going forward, you can vote your way into communism, but you cannot vote your way out of communism, because this is the path we're going down as well, where one side's going to have all the power, and the other side, who didn't want this, are just going to be left to fend from themselves, and they will be eaten alive. Hey, democracy, 9 out of 10 people enjoy gang rape. Guess the skin colour of the 9 out of 10 people. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for the 1,000 subs. Again, I love yous all. If you can keep up the progress of liking, subscribing, hitting the bell notification, again, if we can hit 2,000 by the end of this year, again, that would be absolutely awesome as well. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said, or anything that you think I left out that I should have mentioned within this video. Again, it would be greatly appreciated. If you want to go follow me over on Twitter or X, it's at rant-A-holic, links in the pinned top comment. But I'll wrap it up there. Thanks very much, I love yous all, and as always, keep on rolling. Have a great day, and a better week to follow. Oh, just carpet bomb the UK, honestly.